All right, the Canadian Football League announced its division nominees for its Outstanding Player Awards. Kirk Fenton, Paul Friesen here to discuss them. Most Outstanding Player nominees from the East, of course, Anthony Calvillo, Montreal quarterback, and from the West, Travis Lulay of the BC Lions. Your choice and why?
Well, this might be unpopular, but I'm going to go with Anthony Calvillo. I think overall he had the most solid season. I know he didn't finish well, which is going to hurt him, but I still think AC had the overall best year.
His finish is hurting him in my vote because I think Lulay nipped him at the wire.
Really?
I really do. Yeah, I haven't put the vote down on paper yet, but I think I'm leaning towards Travis Lulay. His touchdown percentage is actually a little better than Anthony's. Yeah. So is his interception percentage, so you could cancel that off. But just the way he played down the stretch to get the Lions in the top spot, and Calvillo couldn't do that, I'm just going to go with it.
Yeah. I think Lulay is going to win.
You do?
I do.
You know, I'd be surprised because AC always wins.
I think Lulay is going to win because of his finish.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Most outstanding defensive player, our own Winnipeg Blue Bomber, Javon Johnson, versus Jarrell Freeman, Saskatchewan linebacker. What do you think?
Well, you know, top defensive player from arguably the top defense in the league. I don't know how you can go wrong picking Javon Johnson. A DB's never won before.
Is that right?
Which kind of be some history in the making. It's very surprising considering this is a passing league that a DB's never won, but
I understand he made a good point in today's scrum as well, and that is he said he's the only player to get interceptions from 3 different positions in the secondary.
Yep.
So he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
But I'm voting for Jarrell Freeman.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
His stats just blow me away. More than 100 tackles. He not only has 3 interceptions, he's got 6 sacks. Javon has his interceptions, league leading 8, and his 2 touchdowns. Yeah. This guy's got everything else. 4 forced fumbles as well. I just think he's done it all.
Yeah.
Although I could see the argument, top defense, best player on that defense.
Freeman's stats are going to help him. Javon's team is going to help him.
Yes.
It could be very close.
It could go either way.
Yeah, it very well could.
Yeah. And by the way, I haven't made that vote yet either, so.
No. We have to do some research.
Yes,
this is a very
top of the head.
Yes.
Yes. Canadian, Jerome Messam, Edmonton behemoth running back, and Sean White, BC kicker. Yeah. Montreal kicker. That's what I meant. Formerly BC.
1,000-yard rusher from Canada. I think you got to go with Mr. Messam. When he gets going, he gets rolling. There's a lot of people who think he's not even the best Canadian in that division. John Cornish should have got some nods, but you know, when you're a Canadian, you rush for 1,000 yards. That's worthy of an honor at the end of the season, if you ask me.
Agreed. And did he even start the whole season?
No, he came on. You know, he barely had a job at the start of the year.
You wonder what those numbers could have been, or what they will be next year.
Yeah, exactly. Got to give it to Jerome.
Jerome Messam, unanimous here.
Yeah.
Special teams, I think this is the toughest vote of them all.
Why?
And there's some tough votes. Paul McCallum, the Lions kicker, and Chad Owens,
Why is that tough?
Terrific returner. McCallum had an unbelievable year for a guy that age.
Exactly.
Owens is unbelievable as a returner.
I know.
Had a tough time with this one. I'm leaning towards the old guy.
Yeah, I'm not leaning towards the old guy. Paul McCallum, you got to give it to a kicker who does what he did this year. He missed, what, 3 field goals this year?
Spectacular.
That right there is amazing. Chad Owens had another great year, but he was nowhere near as dominant as he has been in the past. So Paul McCallum's the man this year.
He's a kicker.
I know he's a kicker. And despite what all those defensive linemen say about how kickers aren't pro football players.
They're players.
Come on, they're players.
He's a player.
Clutch. You gotta. They score points. They're key members of the team, and Paul McCallum got his team a lot of points this year. They weren't long field goals. You know, he's not going to nail the 56-yarder, but he still had a spectacular season.
All right. You're selling me. I'll lean towards him.
Yeah, thank you.
Rookie J.C. Sherritt, Eskimos linebacker, versus Chris Williams, Hamilton receiver. We like offense, don't we?
Yeah. No disrespect to J.C. Sherritt.
No, good player.
Chris Williams, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Former Bomber Neglister apparently too.
Right?
Yeah, I got to figure out how they got rid of him, but Chris Williams could have been a Bomber.
Who got rid of him?
I gotta dig that up. Got to find that out. But
and our favorite category, of course, the Hogs, old line.
Yeah.
BC Jovan Olafioye.
Yes.
Versus Josh Bork of the Alouettes, who's lost for the playoffs to an injury.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt Montreal because Josh Bork is the best offensive lineman in this league.
Yeah.
Saw it in the last regular season game against BC.
Yes.
Jeff Parrott moved over to the left side, and Calvillo was kind of running there for a while. So Bork gets it done. Yeah. The Alouettes used him, picked him with a draft pick that used to be a Bomber draft pick. There's your useless trivia.
Nice trivia today. You're full of it today.
I'm full of it. Yeah, I'm full of useless information.
I'd like to point out though that the Lions led the league in sacks given up. So Olaf Joy's probably going to get some love on this one.
Yes, I've heard a lot of good things about Olaf Joy, but you know, I guess it's kind of a reputation thing. You don't want it to be a reputation vote, but
it is a bit.
Bork is, you know, he doesn't give up much.
If Olaf Joy's back here in a couple of years, a couple of years in a row, he's going to win one eventually. But
who knows? It's all about selling this time of year. It's up to the teams to convince the media who should win.
And when it comes to O-linemen, you know,
you have to ask.
Who breaks down the film? You got to ask around. And I haven't done that yet. So,
we'll find out.
Okay, there we have it. Your MOPs from the Winnipeg Suns, Kirk Penton, Paul Friesen.